I've had many, but one of the strangest was while living in Europe years ago. I was living in what once had been a monastery, dating back to the 17th century. On the fourth-floor attic, there was a library that had just been renovated. New heating, insulation, new windows, etc. Every time I went up there to study, I was alone, as nobody else went there for some reason. Not once did anyone else go there with me. Not once did I see anyone in there, however. Every time I went there, I always heard strange banging noises, which I thought might be due to the heating other than they were way too loud for that. In addition, I always felt someone was always behind me, and I always felt unwelcome there. I could literally feel someone standing right behind me, but when I turned around, there was nobody there. I looked around and never found anyone. Because of this, I never stayed there very long. One day I tried to go back there, and once I reached the doorway, even though the door was wide open, it is as if a solid wall was in place. For a few minutes I tried to cross the threshold into the attic, but was absolutely unable to do so, no matter how hard I tried. The exact sensation is very hard to describe because it was not as if I hit anything. There was no bump, but I was simply unable to get through. I tried for about 5 minutes and was mystified, and eventually just gave up attempting to enter. My feet might have been glued in place as they would not go past the doorway. I never saw anything, and I never did mention this to the people staying there with me, but I was always curious. When I first moved in the place, I was repeatedly warned that the place was haunted, but I never believed in ghost stories. Looking back, that whole time I lived there was full of strange and unexplained happenings, which didn't mean a thing to me until I had moved out. Only years later did I start questioning any of the things that happened while I was there. Sometimes I wish I could visit that place again to see if I just imagined everything, or there really is something strange going on. This happened somewhere in Western Europe several decades ago, but I am not going to be more specific than that.